How is it going, guys? So I just got done watching My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 8, and my god. This episode was just so much fun to watch. We had so many matches, so many one-on-one going up against each other within this episode. We had a total of 5 start and finish within this episode, and there's one match in particular that I absolutely loved in this episode. But the ending part, that last match that's going to continue into the next episode of Ochaco against Bakugo, I am so looking forward to that match. That match has me hyped. I am so looking forward to that because Bakugo is a very interesting character, and I love how hot-headed he is. But Ochaco, I love Ochaco's character and just how determined she is at the end just to go up against Bakugo. So much to talk about within this episode. So before I delve into the matches, the 5 that took place within this episode, let's talk about Deku, because Deku within this episode is starting to demonstrate, his intellect, and a lot of his classmates are starting to realize that, because throughout this entire episode, Deku's taking notes, watching every match, starting to analyze everyone's quirk, their advantage and disadvantage, and he's basically determining who will win in the match, and he ends up mostly being right. And a lot of his classmates, eventually when they start noticing this, as soon as the next match is about to start, they ask him, it's like, hey, who do you think's gonna win this match? And based on, how smart and intellectual Deku is, he's able to analyze the advantages and disadvantages, and he can be like, well, judging by this matchup right here, I think person A is going to win, or person B is going to win. So I really like that without this episode. And of course, there's some comedy there, because he's just constantly muttering to himself, and the Ochaco is just looking at him, and just like starting, and you get some I'm getting vibes, of just like a love interest going on between Ochaco and Deku, because she keeps saying how she just sees Deku just being so amazing, and maybe down the road that could happen, I don't know, but I just really like the dynamic of Deku and Ochaco when they're talking with each other. It's just so much fun to watch. It's so adorable. So let's just delve into the matches of this episode. So the first match of this episode, we had Ibarra against Kaminari. Now, Ibarra was the plant hair girl, and we learned in this episode that her quirk is vines, and Kaminari is our electric friend in Class 1A. And as soon as the match started, I was starting to laugh, because this girl is just so polite and so innocent looking, and she's telling everyone, she's like, I don't plan to kill, I just want to do this very honorably and stuff, and she's like winning over the crowd and stuff, and even winning over Kaminari, because he's looking at her and is like, oh my god, she's cute and adorable, I want to date her after this match. And as soon as he started saying that, I was like, Kaminari's gonna lose. Kaminari is going to lose this match so quickly, and he immediately goes in to try to just use up all of his power within this match. He ends up, shorting out his brain, and eventually is just basically handled very, very swiftly by Ibarra. She just uses her quirk, her vines, detaches it, and then just captures Kaminari, and that's basically the end of the match. I was like, wow, that was a very quick match. But then, right away, we delve into the second match out of the 5, and this one right here was my favorite to watch. I got a kick out of this match. I was laughing just watching Tenya going against Mei Hatsume, our tech girl within My Hero Academia, and my god, I did not think that this was going to be the way the fight was actually going to go, and once I realized where it was going, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be my favorite match of this episode, because at first, when they're about to start, Tenya has this equipment, and of course, Midnight is telling him, it's like, wait, you didn't register that, so you can't use it within this match. And Tenya, being so obedient and apologetic that he is basically saying, well, Mei Hatsume wanted to have a fair fight, so she gave me this equipment, and if it's okay with her, I would like to use this within the match. And since it's okay between both of these characters, Midnight allows this. And at first, when I saw that, it's like, wait, is Mei sabotaging Tenya and just taking his good nature and making it her advantage? But no. What ends up happening for this match, oh my god, I'm still laughing at it internally, because what Mei ends up doing is she has a mic set up throughout the entire stadium and is basically showing off her babies, her tech equipment to everyone within the stadium, and even, the companies that look after this type of tech for superheroes. She's basically doing a QVC sales pitch in front of all of these hero organizations. And as soon as I realized that, I was like, Mei Hatsume, you are one of my favorite characters that has been introduced into this series thus far. It was just so funny. And just to watch Tenya starting to realize that he's basically being used to sell her products, and seeing how angry he's getting, it was just so much fun to watch. And it goes on for like 10 minutes, and she just ends up, after she sells everything to the crowd, just steps out of bounds, and you just see Tenya just so angry at her. I absolutely love this match. This was my favorite out of the entire episode, and Mei Hatsume is probably one of my favorite characters now within My Hero Academia. It was just so funny and good. But now we delve into the third match, and this one actually ended very quickly as well. This third match contained Naval Laser, and then our raccoon-eyed friend Mina Hashido with her acid quirk, and this one ended very quickly, and it wasn't as short, I would say, as Kaminari's match, because you did have Naval Laser, you know, shooting off his lasers, but I really liked getting to see Mina show off how physically fit and how, like, flexible and just how movable she is in combat, because we haven't really seen her go in a fight yet, so this was very cool to watch. And she had the advantage of this match too, because she knew the disadvantage of Naval Laser's quirk, where he can only shoot, like, if he shoots more than 1 second at a time, his stomach ends up hurting, and that ends up happening in this match. And, you know, she just comes in, throws her acid on his equipment, on his belt, which focuses his laser attack, and then it ends up, you know, burning through his pants as well, to where they start falling down, and she just delivers this sucker punch right to Naval Laser's face and ends up winning the match. I was like, this was a fun match, but also very quick as well, and Mina ended up moving on to the next round. It was just a fun match to watch. But this fourth match that ended up happening, I thought would go a lot longer. We had Toki Ami going up against Momo. Now, Momo we didn't really get to see a lot of, but I find her quirk very fascinating because she's able to create all this equipment where she can use it in combat. And this battle right here demonstrated that Toki Ami is going to be a force to reckon with within this tournament, because he's got offensive and defensive covered with his quirk, and his quirk is very, very powerful. And it even put Momo at a disadvantage because she wasn't able to think and concentrate within battle, and very, very quickly she was actually knocked out of bounds, which I feel very bad for Momo throughout this entire match, because she is just a very interesting character and I want to see more of her. But you can tell just by the way that she was taken out, she was very disappointed, and I'm really hoping that we do get to see her shine in later episodes, hopefully very, very soon, but we'll just have to wait and see. But it sucks that she won, but I'm very glad also that Toki Ami ended up pulling up the win, and he is going to be a tank throughout this tournament. I would not be surprised if he is actually the one that ends up winning this tournament overall. Like, he is just a powerhouse. But this fifth match had me laughing, and I love the running joke that we've had with Tetsu and Kirishima, the two people that have very similar quirks, very similar personalities, and I love how they had very similar intros going into their versus match, and even Kirishima pointed that out. But what I also like too is that they use this match to also, you know, go into Ochaco, Deku, and Tenya's story, because honestly, Tetsu and Kirishima have the same powers, and it's not going to be very interesting. It's just going to be a slugfest of those two punching each other out, and that's basically what this episode has them doing. They're just punching each other in the face. It's basically a draw up into the very end where both of them pass out, and I love how Midnight ends up coming up with the decision. It's like, in order for them to actually figure out who moves on to the next round in the tournament, as soon as they wake up, we'll do an arm wrestling match. It's like, they both have similar quirks, and their strength is probably the same. An arm wrestling match would most likely end in a draw, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love the running joke of Tetsu and Kirishima. It was just a fun match to go from a very interesting conversation with Ochaco, but then just going right back to watching them just deck each other in the face one after the other. Very fun match to watch. But like I was saying, we did get a conversation with Ochaco, Deku, and Tenya, because right now Ochaco is actually very nervous, but she is determined to fight Bakugo because she wants to, you know, do very well. She wants to become a hero so that way she can have money, that way she can help out her parents, and, you know, that way they don't have to work that hard anymore. So she is doing a noble thing to actually help out her parents. But going up against Bakugo, the hot-headed, combustible quirk hero, like, it's just tough because his overall personality is just intimidating in and of itself. And the fact that innocent little Ochaco has to go up against Bakugo, this is going to be a very interesting match moving into the next episode. But I love Ochaco's character because not only is she scared, but she is determined, because Deku offers her help to where he knows Bakugo's quirk like the inside of his hand. Like, he knows it front to back, and he says, I could help you come up with a strategy to go up against his combustible quirk and help you with your gravity quirk. But Ochaco, I love what she does here because she basically tells Deku, it's like, thank you, but I want to do this on my own. I have to do this, and if I don't end up winning on my own, I'm just like nobody else here. I got to stand out on my own, because looking at Deku and Tenya, these two have become rivals, and she wants to be on that level as well, to where she wants to say to all of them, I want to be able to make you guys my rivals as well. I want to be formidable. I want to stand up on my own, and I don't want to rely on everyone else getting me to where I want to go. I want my strength to show through, and I want to be the one that pulls myself into where I want to be in my future. I just overall love Ochaco's determination, and this next match of Ochaco going up against Bakugo, Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. It's probably going to be so interesting. I just want to see how Ochaco is able to put up a fight against Bakugo, and this next episode is just going to be so hyped. So I am so looking forward to it. But I want to hear from you guys. What was your favorite match out of this entire episode? Mine, of course, was Tenya going against Mei Hatsume, but we had 5 in this episode in total. So let me know your thoughts on your favorite match and your favorite matchup that happened within this episode. And if you guys are as psyched as I am for the next episode of My Hero Academia with Ochaco going against Bakugo, and if you guys want to join in on the conversation, feel free to subscribe. I would love to talk with you guys because My Hero Academia is just so much fun to watch. So that's going to be the end of this review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I am very looking forward to episode 9 next week. But until then, I'll talk with you guys later, and remember, plus ultra, guys. All right, see you later.